Brow 101. So the important thing about brows to me is that you can see them, because that's a problem. Well, at least for most of us, that's a problem. Typically, when I freelance and do my freelance work, that's the thing that makes me the most nervous, is to make sure that my clients understand the relationship of brows and what it can do for their face, especially in still photography for weddings and things. And a lot of people that I work with fill in their brows, but they only fill in from like here over. They don't spend a lot of time out here. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of brow shape and how to apply it to your face. My whole goal in doing these beauty videos is that I can teach you guys how to do all those things that you see on Instagram and social media everywhere. And because a lot of times you watch like a brow tutorial and you go, that girl has gorgeous eyebrows. I like these are not my real eyebrows. Like already drew them on and things like that. Granted, I do have a lot of hair. I have a lot of hair, but I pluck a lot. So some things and tools that I wanted to show you guys is products that you need, tools that you need to shape your brows, and then also like why would you do certain products over others and colors. There's just so many things about brows to talk about. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the obvious, plucking. I love this little guy. They're little teeny tweezermen. Actually, it's a travel set. So I got these. They have been loved. I got these probably 7 years ago, and it came in a kit with a flat bottom on it too. But when I went to aesthetic school, I also went through electrolysis training. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it is another form of permanent hair removal or permanent hair reduction. And we only used pointy tweezers. Like, I just got really used to it. So I love my pointy tweezers. I get a lot of control over getting those little hairs that are growing but not quite long enough. So pointy tweezers, in my opinion, is kind of a go-to like need. Something else that I need is, see this brush? It's just a mascara wand that I can clean, and it's probably got dust on it because it's been sitting there for a few days. Anyway, and then this bad boy. I love these scissors because when I go to trim the eyebrows on my face, you see that, how it's flat, and then I'm not like cranking my hand in weird positions. So this is great because of the shape of that, and it's Sally Hansen. I'll see if I can list it below, but this is a great tool. I trimmed my eyebrows yesterday because I filmed for you guys yesterday and my lighting was horrible. I tried a new setup and I just okay, so typically you'll take this brush and you'll brush up, trying to get those brows. I did it yesterday, so I can't really show you, but you'll take this and you'll push up your hair, and then usually what I find works best when you don't have a shape is you take the darkest brow color you've got and draw on the shape that you think looks good. I'm going to talk about that in a second, how to find your shape. But you push the hair above where you want that shape to be, and you trim, 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 trim. Now the trick is pull down. Oh, looks like I missed some. Okay, so you trim down, and you pull down, and then you trim along that line. What that does is that keeps it in place. It does a better job of keeping the eyebrow hair in place. So typically I will trim and pluck when the chance arises. And then, so those are kind of the basic tools that I like to use. Now I'm going to get into product a little bit. So in my first video, you guys saw me using my Ride or Die dip brow. I'll get to that in a second, but this is brow powder. So I have two different kinds, and they're these little duos, and they have a light color and a dark color, and I'll kind of get into that in a second. They are both Anastasia, I always say it wrong. We'll see if I can get the lighting on these just right. There we go. These, I have medium brown and ash blonde, but you can see how nice it is. I only ever use that on my clients because I'm kind of too dark for that. So, and this is the old packaging. You can see I've had it for a while. But this was my go-to for a long time until I found the dip brow. So the dip brow is just a different product. It's considered, I think it's considered a pomade. Yeah, it's considered a pomade, so it's not quite a gel, but, and mine, don't judge, is drying. So you can kind of see how it's cracking off the sides, but I can't live without this product for my brows specifically. It allows me to put a lot of pigment in places, but it also allows me to blend, and it doesn't leave little chunks behind. That brings me to pencils. So the two pencils that I have are from Maybelline. They're Master Shape by Eye Studio. I think they come in the packaging that's like hung up. But what I liked about these is it had the edge on it right here, and it lets you comb your brows and try to comb out any inconsistencies you have in the way the product laid down. But what I do have to say about these is notice the color difference between these two colors. So I thought for sure I'd be soft brown because my brows, I have a lot of hair. They're not really close together, so I wouldn't really call it thick. I just have a lot, and I was worried that if I picked the deep brown or dark brown or whatever this is, I think it's deep brown, that it would be too dark and it would look black, because I had a really bad experience with a makeup artist at a wedding. Long time ago. She made my eyebrows black. Black. I know my hair's dark, I mean, but, and it took me days to get the black off. Okay, anyway, so the thing that I like about pencils is the fact that you can make strokes of hair, so you're not making like this dusting of shadow. But what I don't like about it is typically in the drugstore brand, like these are drugstore brand, you are getting a really like orangey color, and it probably doesn't pull very orange on this, but when you look at it next to the deep brown, the dark brown, you can kind of see how much more orangey it is. Look how much more orange that is. Like, you can also see the the clumps of product that's over here. That's what the brush is for. I just don't get as much control with these, but it does help when I have a client who is like missing chunks of hair, or they have like, I have bare spots. It helps because this has a little bit of like a gel in it, and it will allow you to make strokes of hair, whereas the dip brow and things like that, they tend to have a little bit more kind of like a soft look to it. I prefer that, but you know. And then I go back in with my concealer, and you can lay the concealer right along the bottom and clean up the edge. And the reason why you would do that is that it would clean up any mistakes. It would, it looks beautiful. It looks precision on camera. I haven't done that yet, but I want to wipe off one brow and then do a brow for you, and then I can talk to you guys about shape and how you want to put that according to your own eye. So I'm going to get off camera and wipe off one of my brows. This is gonna be interesting. And then I'll come back and I will do the tutorial. Actually, I'm gonna talk to you guys right now about the shape. So, okay. Typically you wanna go to the inside of your nose. So not the nostril, but right on the bulb of your nose, and do a straight up line. Now you can kind of see that mine doesn't go quite all the way over. I think this one does. Yeah, there we go. It's not always perfect, but you can do your best. Mine doesn't quite go all that way. These are just guidelines, okay? Now the next one is take the inside of your nose and go through the center of your eye. That's where you want your arch to be. Boom. Now the next part is go to the edge of your nose and edge of your eye, and that's where your eyebrow should end. Typically, it is difficult to get your eyebrow all the way to the end and not have it look completely overdrawn. But in certain looks, I think this side's a little better. In certain looks, it's a lot easier. Like, see this side. This side, I can pretty close to handle it. Yeah. Anyway, that's just a general shape. So you can do that on yourself, and that's how you can find where you should start, where your arch should be, and then where the end of your eyebrow should be. So when you get a chance to look for how you want your brows to look, you can kind of map that out. When I first started and I was plucking my own eyebrows, because I pluck my own eyebrows, I don't get them waxed anywhere. If I wax, I do it at home, and I will map out where I needed everything to be, because there was a point when my brows were kind of a hot mess. So basically you just want to find where your shape should be according to your face, and then you can worry about shaping and filling and creating the shape that is most flattering for your face as you go. Sometimes it takes some time to really get there. I should show you guys some scary brows. I mean, I had scary brows at one point. I was learning. Anyway, but I think I'm gonna do my brow now. Thanks. See ya.
Alright, first things first, we're going to clean the brow. I wanted to wipe it off just so you could see exactly the difference between my finished brow and my brow I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade called Dip Brow. And right now I'm mapping out and showing you guys just how off my end of my brow is. And now I'm cleaning up that bottom line, trying to get a straighter line from the front to the back. And I'm also working on the top line. Typically you want to get the bottom and the top line of your brow in a parallel line. You know, you don't have to worry about it being perfectly straight, but trying to make that as parallel as possible is really smart. And now I'm just filling in with the product. And sometimes you have to pull down the hair. You'd think you'd have to push up, but you actually have to pull down on the hair, and you'll see a lot more space for product to fill in and darken up your brow. Next, you can take your concealer and literally draw a line with your concealer and clean up those lines, kind of a photography trick. And you can blend out the concealer and it will just give you just a really precise, sharp brow. Really on fleek, as people would say. And don't forget to map out where you should start, where your arch should be, and where you should end. That's really important for aesthetically pleasing brow. Thank you so much for watching. Please like my video and subscribe to see more. Bye bye.